Hey everyone, welcome back to Internet Rebel, the channel that isn't afraid to drag the internet's biggest phonies into the light. Today we're doing a full, no stone unturned autopsy on one of the most satisfying celebrity meltdowns of the last decade, James Corden. This is the guy who went from awe, look how humble and grateful he is, to please never speak his name again, so fast it gave the entire world whiplash. He didn't just ruin his own reputation. He single-handedly murdered one of America's longest-running late-night franchises and then fled the country like a villain in a bad movie. Buckle up, because this one is long, messy, and delicious. James Corden is the human embodiment of never meet your idols. For years, he sold the perfect image, the chubby, self-deprecating British comedian who cried on camera because he couldn't believe people actually liked him. And people ate it up. He became one of the most powerful late-night hosts in the United States. The guy celebrities fought to sit next to in a car while belting out their own songs. But once the mask slipped, we found out the real James Corden was an arrogant, fame-addicted bully who treated waiters, crew members, and anyone he considered beneath him like absolute trash. And the internet never forgave him. Let's go all the way back to the beginning, because a lot of people think he just parachuted into Hollywood out of nowhere. He didn't. James started grinding in the UK in the late 90s and early 2000s, taking any job he could get. Tiny parts in musicals like Martin Guerre, a nothing role in some rugby film called 24/7, The Match, even a couple of episodes on the soap Hollyoaks. He was the definition of jobbing actor. Then in 2000, he landed a recurring role on a show called Fat Friends, playing a character named Jamie Reimer. It wasn't glamorous, but it was steady work, and more importantly, that's where he met actress Ruth Jones. Together, they created Gavin Stacey in 2007, and James played Smithy, the loud, tracksuit-wearing, emotionally constipated best mate who somehow stole every scene he was in. Lines like, "I shudder, you slag," "No, you shudder, you slag," and his legendary fast food order, large cod and chips, 2 battered sausages, became part of British culture overnight. The show was a monster hit, especially in Wales. Over half the entire population of Wales watched the Christmas Day finale. James won the BAFTA for Best Comedy Performance in 2008, started hosting the Brit Awards, became a regular on every panel show, co-hosted comic relief charity marathons, the works. He was everywhere, and the thing everyone loved most was how grateful he seemed. Every acceptance speech, every interview, he'd tear up and say he couldn't believe this was his life. The UK fell in love, but cracks were already forming. In a 2015 interview, he openly admitted that his first wave of fame went straight to his head. "You start to perhaps think you're a bit more of a dude than you really are." His Gavin Stacey co-star Rob Brydon had to sit him down and say, "Mate, people are talking about how you're behaving. It's having an effect." His own sister literally told him, "James, don't be a dick." He knew he just didn't care enough to stop. Then came the flops. First, a sketch show with his Gavin Stacey buddy Matthew Horn called Horn and Corden. Critics slaughtered it. The Telegraph said it was about as funny as credit default swaps. Canceled after 1 season. Next, a horror comedy movie called Lesbian Vampire Killers that somehow got a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes and vanished without a trace. But the moment that really started peeling the mask off happened in 2010 when he hosted the Glamour Women of the Year Awards. Patrick Stewart, yes, Captain Picard himself, called James out live on stage for standing at the back looking bored with his hands in his pockets. James could have taken the note gracefully. Instead, he snapped back, got defensive, and when Stewart made a gentle joke about his weight, Corden snarled, "You can see my belly, and we can all see you dying right now." The room froze. Zoe Saldana tried to lighten the mood by saying she liked his belly, but the damage was done. People saw the real temper for the first time. The UK still gave him chances because of name recognition. He got the sports comedy panel show A League of Their Own, which ran forever and made him loads of money. Then the play One Man, Two Governors went to Broadway and won him a Tony in 2012. Career looked bulletproof. Then 2014 happened. Craig Ferguson, who had turned The Late Late Show into this beautifully chaotic, unscripted late-night gem, announced he was leaving CBS. Everyone expected another American comedian to take over. Instead, they gave it to James Corden, a guy literally no one in the U.S. had heard of. The internet lost its mind. Who the hell is this fat British guy? He walked out on night one, did that teary speech. It really isn't lost on me what a privilege it is to be given a show like this. I will really do my best not to let any of you down. America shrugged and said, okay, we'll give him a shot. And here's the thing. He actually crushed it, at least at first. He understood something the old guard never did. Live ratings were dying, but viral clips were gold. So he invented Carpool Karaoke, Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts, crosstalk interviews, all designed to explode on YouTube the next morning. Adele rapping Nicki Minaj's Monster verse. Justin Bieber admitting he throws out underwear after one wear. Those clips got hundreds of millions of views. By 2017, the channel had over 10 million subscribers. He hosted the Tonys, then the Grammys twice. He became Hollywood's go-to safe host, non-threatening musical theater smile, perfect for award season. Then the mask started slipping in America, too. First came the Spill Your Guts segment with Jimmy Kimmel. Kimmel asked a simple question. Name 2 of the cameramen in this room. James laughed nervously, stalled, and finally muttered, "It's a different crew tonight." He couldn't name a single one. The internet pounced. This guy works with these people every day and doesn't know their names? A few months later, at the height of the Harvey Weinstein scandal, James hosted a charity gala and decided the perfect icebreaker was, "It's so beautiful here in L.A. Harvey Weinstein has already asked tonight up to his hotel to give him a massage." Crickets, groans, instant backlash. Then he did a Reddit AMA that has gone down in infamy. 2 comments destroyed him. One person said they sat next to him and Harry Styles in a London restaurant 6 years earlier, and James screamed at the waitstaff and threatened someone who asked him to calm down. Another said they watched A League of Their Own being filmed, and James threw multiple tantrums at crew, screamed at audience members who wanted photos, and spent every break glued to his phone while everyone else tried to make small talk. He answered 5 questions and rage quit the thread. The movie roles kept bombing harder and harder. Cats, enough said. Then an animated musical called Kaz that scored a brutal 2.8 on IMDb. Ricky Gervais roasted him at the Golden Globes. The world got to see James Corden as a fat pussy. He was also in the movie Cats, but no one saw that. A Change.org petition to keep him out of the Wicked movie got over 100,000 signatures. The final nail came in October 2022 when New York restaurateur Keith McNally posted on Instagram that he was 86ing James Corden from Balthazar for being the most abusive customer he'd had in 25 years. Story 1. James found a hair in his food, demanded free drinks for the table or he'd trash them online. Story 2. His wife's omelet had a little egg white in the yolk, so James allegedly screamed at the waiter, "You can't do your job, maybe go in the kitchen and cook it yourself." James got himself unbanned by apologizing, then went on his own show weeks later and insisted he'd done nothing wrong on any level. The stories kept coming. Flight attendants, crew members, extras, everyone had a horror story. By 2023, the hate was nuclear. Viewership of The Late Late Show collapsed. Then someone posted behind-the-scenes footage of Justin Bieber's Carpool Karaoke showing the car being towed on a trailer. James wasn't even driving. He laughed it off on the show and listed every time they'd used a tow truck for safety, but for millions of people that broke the last bit of magic. The segment that made him famous was fake. In April 2023, he announced he was quitting to spend more time with family back in the UK. Almost nobody believed him. CBS didn't even try to find a new host. They just canceled the entire show, ending a 30-year franchise because one man had made it radioactive. He's back in Britain now doing theater, reprised Smithy for the 2024 Gavin Stacey Christmas special, but the damage is permanent. He's the male Ellen DeGeneres. Both sold this ultra-kind, ultra-humble persona. Both got exposed as entitled monsters who only respected people who could do something for them. Except James hid behind his theater training even better. And when the curtain finally dropped, there was nothing left but the bully. And that's the full, unfiltered rise and fall of James Corden. From Britain's sweetheart to America's most hated import, and he took the Late Late Show down with him like a captain refusing to leave a sinking ship. Let me know in the comments whose career you want me to dissect next. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive. Hit subscribe and the bell so YouTube actually shows you my videos, and I'll catch you rebels in the next ones. Stay savage!